Chapter 18, Section 3 just talks a little bit about how nuclear chemistry is actually used. So one of the main ones that you've probably heard of before is radioactive dating, and that's when we use radioactive isotopes to determine an object's age, usually through its half-life, which is the time required for half of the radioactive material to decay. In general, the more unstable the nuclei, the shorter its half-life will be. A lot of living things we're going to measure with carbon-14, which has a half-life of about 5,715 years. And then non-living things such as rocks or minerals, a lot of times we'll use potassium-40, which has a half-life much, much larger than carbon at 1.28 billion years. Smoke detectors actually have an alpha emitter, which attract electrons from the gas that change them to ions, which will conduct electricity. So when smoke particles mix with the gas, they will reduce current flow and the detector circuits get set off. Neutron analysis, which is a process that can be used to determine the composition of objects, so like what meteorites are made up of, and then there also can be used a lot in like forensic science. So you could test gun residue for the presence of certain elements like antimony or copper or barium. Those would be present in gun residue. And then the last thing is that it needs to be monitored is radiation exposure. And the units that it's measured in are REMS, R-E-M, which is the biological effect of exposure to nuclear radiation. And we're limited to 5 REMS per year. And that's mainly for people that are working with it. Most everyday people don't even come close to those numbers. It's about 1,000 times higher than recommended for most people. And basically, we just want to make sure that the effects of the radiation are not we're not accumulating them too quickly, because they will build up. It is a cumulative process. So people that actually work with radioactive substances need to monitor their exposure amount, usually through a film badge, to make sure that they're not getting too much exposure at a time and over prolonged periods of time.